Go offline. Welcome to this week's edition of Pub Shenanigans. Welcome to this week's edition of Pub Shenanigans. Today we're actually coming to you from Pint Station in beautiful Easley, South Carolina. Big shout out to these guys for letting us come live to you guys from here. I'm Eric, as always.
Pickle. Bentley.
So
Down a man again this week.
We're down a man again this week. You know, he had to turn around and do that noble thing of taking a job. He had to join the rest of us working stiffs.
Couldn't coach on his looks anymore.
So today we're being brought to you by really good beer and really good cigars.
Mm-hmm.
So we're glad.
Thanks for the hookup on the cigar.
Oh no, you guys are welcome, man. I needed to bust into that humidor and lower some inventory.
Yeah, anytime.
So
I'll hate myself tomorrow.
We'll kick this whole thing off. So you guys went to Atlanta for the race.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
And I know if anybody that follows us on Facebook and everything, I'm sure you saw Ben the Bunny and
that's a bunny named Sue.
a bunny named Sue, and some of the shenanigans that went on while these guys were down there. So you guys just go ahead and kick everything off this week and hit us with your best shot. Tell us about some of this nonsense.
All right. Good part of the race, man. First of all, we didn't even think we were going to get it in, did we, Pickle?
No. The weather was horrible Friday and Saturday.
Man, it missed it the whole damn day. I can't believe they even got out there on the track.
Really, when we're standing in turn 2, you could not see turn 4. The
Yeah,
mist was
so
that
bad.
You know?
Oh wow!
It was
So you couldn't even see across the infield.
Yeah, I mean, them boys had some balls on them. I'll give them that. Running 180 miles an hour on a wet track.
Yeah. Probably one of the best races to me was the truck race. Usually it's a crash fest and everybody came and ran in the back and everything, but the amazing thing, Pickle, was, tell the truth, Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, he was the man amongst boys down there that day. He got out there and led early. And in a cycle of pit stops, he ended up being like 24th. And in like 26 laps, he come back out and was leading the field walking away.
Laps.
Without a caution. That just whacked them down one by one. Average.
He just owned it.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like that was his manifest destiny for that day.
That was his Ricky Bobby moment.
His Ricky Bobby.
That was a Ricky Bobby moment
Because every driver needs a good Ricky Bobby moment.
Hey, and what was funny, every time we come around, Pickle and I would both point at him, we look at the scoreboard and we're like, damn, he's up 5 more trucks already in a lap and a half.
It was unreal.
So he was just killing it.
Man, it was like, you know how you drive down the interstate, that one guy blows past you?
Yeah. The guy doing a $1.20 in the toll lane he's not supposed to be. Yeah.
He's just weaving in and out, man. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like he got on the interstate and just hammered down on it, man.
Nobody had nothing for him.
No, they couldn't touch it, man. That's why he's probably one of the best NASCAR.
Well, he's dominant. Well, he broke the record for most wins in the Truck Series, career-wise. That night.
He's like, pardon my ignorance here, because these guys are just really getting me educated to the modern NASCAR.
We'll get you educated.
Educating me, but is he not like a better short track than he is a long track? But then again, when he was in the race at Daytona, he was holding his own in a car too.
The kid can drive anywhere. I mean, he really can. Personally, he's got the personality of a suck lemon, and I don't like him. But I have to respect his driving ability.
I gotcha.
He's
Dude, real quick, let me tell you this. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Pickle, but we had a chance to meet him in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Several years ago when he had first started.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll do 2 things for my owner. He said, I'll bring him a steering wheel or the trophy, but he can't have both. Yeah. And I was like, dude.
You got to respect that,
dude,
though.
well, you have to, but he's arrogant. And you know what? On that track, that's where he proves his arrogance.
Yeah.
But it's so much as far as off the track, we don't hang out with him.
But even the thing is, though, it's okay to be arrogant if you can back that shit up.
Well, he can. And that's the thing about it. He backs it up.
Because if you look at it historically, Gordon was an arrogant SOB.
Yeah.
Tony Stewart.
Hey, and back when I was actually into racing, I had to go number 2 all the way. So I was a Rusty Wallace man.
Have hairspray, will travel.
So, Rusty was cocky, but he could back it up. Just like, John Force has always been, cocky and drag racing.
Yeah.
He is a legend. He and Pendragon and some of these other guys, they're like the GOATs.
Yeah.
They are the greatest of all times. So, let's get into some of these shenanigans that we shared with everybody.
So everybody saw the bunny suit, and I tried to keep up with old hip hop as long as I could, and he just got.
You should have tranked that damn bunny.
I know when that boy gets drinking and he puts on the bunny suit, that's one fast hair. Let me tell you.
I was stepping it out, man.
So I let the youngins keep up with him and report back to me. So apparently, I'm gonna let you start the story, then I'm gonna start the story. I'm gonna finish it where you started going into the pits.
Yeah, so I walked up to the pit.
Now tell me you had a pass.
No, I didn't have a hot pass.
Okay.
I didn't have any passes for getting into the pits. I just came running by there, and the dude just looks at me and goes, pass, and I just waved at him. Kept walking in my little pink bunny Ralphie suit, right? So I made it all the way up to the front, and then I said, well, Kyle Busch was in the winner's circle at the time. So I was like, I'm going to try to make it in the winner's circle. So I kind of made it up in there, and then I did like this, and I have an infield bracelet. I didn't have a hot pass. I wasn't supposed to be in there. And the dude goes, whoa there, bunny. And he spins me around. He goes, you're not supposed to be in here. I said, no, sir. So then I turned around. I hopped out the gate, like this.
He's literally hopping across the floor, y'all. This is hilarious.
So I hopped out the gate, and I left, and we walked up and down pit road watching the Bandoleros race, man, and that was pretty cool too, man.
Now the backside of the story was there was 2 other kids that was following him around watching this, and they tried to walk in the pits right behind him, and the guard stopped them. They're like, no, we're with him. He said, well, you ain't got no passes? And I ain't chasing him.
I ain't chasing no pink bunny.
So you just do what you got to do.
Y'all ain't gonna
I'm surprised he didn't look at somebody and go, did you just see what I just think I saw? Or is this a delusion?
He just saw Ralphie.
And then naturally, Ben decided to get very intoxicated that night.
Nah.
And got on the karaoke machine.
That was some of the worst yet best karaoke I've ever heard.
It was the worst karaoke.
I see, I wasn't there, mind you, so I'm seeing the video footage of this. And Ben, every lyric to that song was, I'm going straight to hell. My mama said I smell. I mean, it was horrible.
He's
but
like, Pickles, sing along with us. I can't. You're making up the words as you go.
I was.
That's the brilliant thing about Ben, though. Ben, he ran out of fucks a number of years ago, and he's just not going to hand any more out to anybody.
Nope.
And
Not happening.
that's why we love and respect him for that.
Hey, you put 4 shots of tequila and 2 beers in Ben, he ain't met a stranger. I'll tell you that.
No. You ought to try going to a concert with him. He was so wide open at the show. At that last show we went to, I had to tell everybody he was a Make-A-Wish kid.
He did.
I was telling everybody,
so
I'm like,
funny,
y'all
man.
got to overlook him. He's a Make-A-Wish kid, and he just wanted to see the Dead South. That was his lifelong dream, was to see the Dead South. I mean, he's walking up to people. We're going out on the smoking bit area, and he goes out there and he goes, "What the fuck are you looking at?" "Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a World Sauce Leprechaun." And they're like, and I'm like following him around, making sure he doesn't get his ass beat.
Now I learned something I had no idea about Ben this weekend.
Really? What's that?
Well, some bitch can cook.
Really?
Woke me up Saturday morning after I got drunk Friday night. I was tore up.
Oh, yeah, we
on the
did some
floor.
tequila.
I was singing. I was telling stories. I was not making any sense anywhere you talk about it. 'Cause there wasn't no race. I was getting drunk,
Yeah, we had a good time, man. A real good time.
I woke up Saturday morning. Ben kicks me in the head. "Wake up. I got your breakfast cooked." I'm alive. I got to eat.
Hey,
Get up.
That bug opened one eye and he goes, blink, blink. And he goes, ooh, breakfast.
I can smell it. Boy, yeah. sausage, ham, eggs, bacon.
And you had to cut up some tomato for us, man.
Yes, I
Oh, Dad.
tomato.
Yeah, we had a good breakfast.
You brought on the feast.
And we ate good down there. That's one thing I can say is we ate good down there. Man, we found a new recipe for wings.
Yes.
Works out great. We'll share that on another show when we have a cooking show.
And we will do a cooking show because I used to be an executive chef, so I can probably hit you guys with some good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, he can beat us up then. But we did.
I won't beat you up because I just appreciate food. That's something, and see, that's something that we haven't really shared with all of you guys. Typically, we'll do our podcast, and then we're going to go try a new restaurant somewhere, and we'll actually start doing start doing some reviews of some of these places we hit, and everything, and give a good shout out. I mean, we'll go ahead and throw one out there now. Tarasco's in Berea.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Really good.
Best Mexican, hands down, in the upstate area.
It's not like a traditional Mexican.
No.
It's more of a seafood restaurant.
Well, it's real. It is traditional.
Or
It's not Americanized.
Traditional, what you find around here.
Yeah. Which is, overly Americanized.
Traditional versus authentic.
Yeah, this is authentic.
That's
This
more
is the
authentic.
real deal.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing food, amazing staff. I mean, they took care of us hands down. I mean, with no questions asked. They even gave us our own room, much to their chagrin, I'm sure. But and the food was just, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it's
I never thought about going to a Mexican restaurant for shrimp and crab legs, but now that I have,
that was awesome.
Yeah, and the carnitas.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
carnitas I've ever had. I mean, hands down phenomenal.
it really was. It was very, very delicious.
The green chili verde,
Oh yeah.
that stuff was spicy. I thought, I thought? It was the Coronas at first. So
The Coronas and the shrimp with the chili sauce.
sauce on top.
Oh man.
Them oysters that we got.
Oh, those oysters were banging.
Oh, with the
and
nuts
the
and the shrimp on top.
and the
all
octopus.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
man, it was so good.
Octopus made me squeamish.
Well, there's a lot of you had some issues that night. I'll leave it there. Shark boy.
But that was pretty damn good.
So what else you guys got to add from Atlanta?
Sunday race, we had a good friend Alan. We sat up on one of the highest decks probably in there.
It really was. He's got a nice system set up in there, and it was.
But no offense, how did all y'all big ass mofos get up on top of one of those campers without caving it in?
It was difficult.
Pickle went one time. He went up and came down one time. He's like, I'd bring him a beer every time he'd go back. Well, every time I would come down and go back up, I was having to pay the water bill a lot that day. But Pickle came down, he pissed and says, listen, you're missing this great race, dude.
And through the middle of it, it really was a good race. And then towards the end, it got good again with the switched up.
All right, here's the one thing that pissed me off, Pickle. Remember the restart? They put them all in there.
Yeah.
And they put the lead laps in the front because there was an accident in the pits.
Yeah.
That just kind of screwed everything up from after that, man.
It did. The whole thing about the.
Well, it screwed our race pool up for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. Man, we had Harvey golden on that shit. But when they done the whole wave around concept, it was so that you wouldn't have lap cars mixed in between.
But that's been a long time ago since I've seen it like that. You know what I mean?
And when they done that, even because it was a large waiver, that's something they need to address before the next time, because the way they done this, the new package, it slowed them down. And the reason they wasn't wrecking was because they were going slow enough that the cars handled too good.
Well, that's true because you can take any lane if you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, and wasn't that the argument back at Daytona though, that they were going too fast, and
that's
that
part of the reason they did it too.
It wasn't slowing them down. And I mean, I'm sure they got a little bit of gun shy after Daytona, if you didn't wreck.
Had a problem with these mile-and-a-half packages where one person gets out front and just takes off. Nobody can catch him because of the aero package.
Yeah.
He's got the clean air is what they call it. There's nobody.
Nobody's polluting the oxygen intake of the motor.
No. It's the turbulence in the air.
Okay.
See, they're so dependent on the air pushing them down into the track.
Yep.
So when somebody gets in front of you, that lifts the air off the track. So then you got to depend more on mechanical grip than aero grip. So they widened them up. They put a bigger spoiler on them, knocked a bigger hole in the air and everything, and that slowed them down as well. You think about when you riding out the window of your car with your hand out there. You hold it flat, it goes straight. You turn it up, it goes up, down. But you can feel how it throws you back. It's resistance, So they added by putting that big old blade on the back, they added more resistance, slowed the cars down, but they still have so much downforce that it doesn't.
They're not pulling an arrow loose like when they would come up, draft to your side panel,
Exactly.
and away you go. You're off in the distance.
You weren't slingshotting.
No,
basically.
well, not really, because
you couldn't slingshot. We couldn't slingshot. You couldn't. It just.
And that's why they're bumping people into places now.
It's like running a Ferrari at 70 miles an hour versus running a Ferrari at 100 miles an hour. The control of it's going to be a little better.
Yeah.
And then by slowing them down, it let them control it a little better. That it made for wide. I mean, there's times there's 5 wide out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, wow.
Spiegel was screaming at me like this and pointing 5. Look at them. When we look down, and sure enough, here they are, man, just taped in there.
Because they had so much grip, they could do that. They wasn't running on the ragged edge.
Yeah.
Like normal, yeah.
Like normal. So they're gonna have to tweak it just a little bit. Find maybe give them just a little bit more horsepower with that, so they can have them breakaway. I'm not sure. I'm not what the package needs to be.
Atlanta has the breakaways, all right? These quarter-mile, the cookie-cutter tracks, as we call them.
Yeah.
They have the breakaways like that. Atlanta's one of them because they do have so much grip, but they wear out tires.
Atlanta wears out tires, but they wouldn't wear them as bad. I think an easy easy resolution would be putting a very soft compound on the tires where they wear out very quickly. And that way you have to drive it more. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because, racing's changed so much. It's evolved so much now. You know what I mean? Now, drivers are dependent on the downforce,
exactly,
the horsepower, and, of course, tires.
Yep.
Now, Tony Stewart used to always bitch about tires. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to kill me with these damn Goodyears. Rah, rah,
yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
But great race overall, man. We had a good time. Pickle and I sat out there. I hopped around a little bit.
Met a lot of good people. I hope they are tuning in the podcast. Gave them all the information for it down and everything. A lot of good guys. I forgot about the one story. Got to throw this in there real quick. So there's a bunch of young guys down there, millennials, okay? And naturally, Ben hopping around drunk, so they're going to pick on him. He goes into. They had their own personal porta-john sitting out there.
Ah, okay.
They waited for Ben to go in, and one of them football tackles that thing.
Sure did, man.
With you in the porta shitter.
Well, he tried to tip me over. I did like this. Got my center of gravity in that thing. They were like, "Man, that little fat bastard." I was like, "Y'all ain't getting me over today, damn it."
He comes out, Pickle, I got piss all in my sandal.
I did.
I was like, pour some tequila on it. Keep walking.
Walk it off, boy. Walk it off. Speaking of, that was a pretty good transition that you just offered us there. Millennials.
Oh, the scourge of the earth.
Right?
Not all of them.
Well, there are. We are equal opportunity offenders here.
That's right.
On this podcast. I mean, there are good everybody's.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I'm stereotyping, and that's wrong. But I'm right.
But there's a lot more that suck the taint. I mean, than they do good.
And I don't blame the millennials.
Blame the parents.
I blame my generation, Generation X, that had the millennials. We did not
Do a well enough
pass.
job.
We let technology take too much control.
You're right.
Well, and I think one of the other things is there's so many parents today that, as a parent, and I can say this, but they want to be the kid's friend.
Yeah.
They don't want to be that person, the parent. They don't want to have to be the one that has to have that, having to put the hammer down. You screwed up. Guess what? You're not leaving the house for 2 weeks.
Consequences. It's
Yeah.
just like.
Consequences is a word millennials are not really familiar with.
No, and they're not used to being told no.
Yeah.
No.
Who are you to tell me no about anything?
Who you telling me no? Why
I'm
you
the guy
telling
who pays
me?
the bills.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, and a lot of that has to do with, too. Look what we grew up with. We grew up with John Wayne. I mean, just movies, just as an instance. We grew up with John Wayne and Ben Johnson and, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Clint Eastwood. I mean, we grew up with these guys that...
Yeah, we grew up with some great heroes.
And
Oh, and
the
hey,
thing
Kool-Aid.
well, and hey, the Kool-Aid man.
Don't run into walls. What are you, stupid?
Well, you might... And the Nestea Plunge.
Yes.
I mean, everybody remembers an SC plunge. But, you know, when you go back to all this and everything, you know, those were the role models that taught you how to be a man. It taught you that it's okay to go ahead and take that punch. Mm-hmm. That you're not a bitch for taking a punch.
Yeah.
You're a bitch if you're going to go get a gun.
Yeah.
You don't bring a gun to a fist fight. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, parents today are raising a bunch of pussies.
Well, you got to remember, hold on. Now, let me, on behalf, I'm going to say this. You got to remember, we came up on the ass end of it. You had the ColecoVision, you know, you had an Atari, which was, you know what?
Yeah.
That was fantastic for our days. Now you got gun violence, which is so bad. And trust me.
I mean, we were playing Donkey Kong and like Tetris.
No. But, and you know, I believe in the NRA. I pack a pistol wherever I can legally. You know what I'm saying? So, I've never pulled my pistol on anybody.
Right.
Never pointed a weapon at anybody. But the thing is, you know, like you said, Eric, I took an ass whooping many a times, came home, my dad said, "What happened? Running your mouth?" Yes, sir, I was.
And you know, and you were okay with that.
Yeah.
And your dad was okay with that. Because guess what? You learned a lesson.
Yeah.
You learned how that, you know what? It doesn't always go your way.
No.
You know, you're not special. That's what kills me. Every one of these kids these days that think mom and dad has told them, "Oh, you're special. You can do and be anything you want to be." Guess what? No, you can't.
Hold on.
No, you can't.
That's not true. Because there's certain things people can't do, and I'm meaning me. You know what I mean? I'm not meaning anybody that has a disability or anything.
Right.
But what I mean is me. I was a perfect example of, I'm going to do this. You go ahead and you try that, son. And that's the way my dad was. And when I failed at it, my dad would go, "I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to hear it."
You struck out and failed. But you know what? You know what? And okay, we all grew up playing sports, right?
Yeah.
You played sports, you played sports. Here's what I want to bring up. Did either one of you motherfuckers get a goddamn trophy for participation?
Hell no.
No. You got a trophy
That's
because you got out and you earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it because guess what? You worked twice as hard as the next guy. You did what you had to do to get to the end, to get that position, to get that spot, and you worked hard. Guess what? It made you work harder.
Yeah.
You're right. It did.
Because-
It made you appreciate it.
Yeah. You put a goal out there. You know, it's
I mean, what kind of goals and anything is being set these days?
There aren't any. And
Yeah.
that's part of the reason. There aren't the goals that, as a kid, hey, you got to catch that. You've got to catch that. You don't let it roll by you and they beat you by 19 points.
yeah. There's too much acceptance of mediocrity.
Yeah,
And
you're
not-
right. It
and
is.
not, you know, glorifying. They actually tend to disglorify exceptionalism.
And that's a shame that we've come to that point. Because you know what? If your goal is mediocrity, and that you only want to be
Might as well
just
be a socialist.
you only want to be just good enough. There's good points for that too. But we don't talk about that.
No.
But what we are talking about is there. You know, you don't. You just you know if you're okay with the status quo, you never want to set that bar higher for yourself, or the establishment in your coaching systems are not setting that bar for you. Why should they ever expect anybody to excel? Right? So I mean, why would you even do that? All right, so you know, going back to that, you know, what about these that they're stuck in that status quo?
Look at the mediocrity. There's no. I was like Hank Hill once said, "It's like you got no goals," you know. I mean, and I hate to think about it, but that Hank Hill generation of wisdom and knowledge is as boring and as square as it sounds. Is so solid in fundamentals, you know, that have.
Well, that was some of the last generations that, you know, they grew their own gardens. They provided, you know, either if you didn't grow it, raise it, butcher it yourself, you weren't going to have it, especially us being in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, and now being in the South, that being said,
You hunt it, you kill it, you lick it, you stick it. It just goes that
I mean,
way.
it's the rule of 4.
Yes, it is.
You hunt it, kill it, lick it, and stick it.
That's it.
And that goes for women, too. Maybe not the killing part, because that'd be kind of gross. But, you know, even that being said, though, even as Southerners, even Southern millennials, who are still, I mean, there's still plenty of people that are subsistence farmers here in the South. But it's a dying generation, though.
Well, I mean, not only that, but you go, well, how many 17, 18-year-olds you know right now that if they got a flat tire, the only thing they do is call AAA?
That's fact. My stepson, I've shown him multiple times how to change a tire out. He had a tire blowout on him week before last. What's he do? He calls his dad and says, "Hey, I'm stuck on the side of the road," because he was nervous about trying to change a tire on his own. And I'm like, "But son, I've shown you this multiple times. You know how to do this. I'm trying to prepare you for a life where you don't have to depend on anybody else." Because that's how my family raised me. My mom raised us to be able to do everything for ourselves, so we never had to be dependent on a woman. My father raised me and my brother for us to be able to handle ourselves and take care of our own business and what it's like to be a man. That, you know what, if you screw up, you're man enough to say, you know what, I screwed up. Like, if I did pickle wrong, yeah, we may throw a few blows and everything, but guess what? We're going to still be sitting there drinking a beer afterwards. Because that's how you men handled things back then.
Well, I mean, you know, so many of them are clueless on just what things cost.
Oh my God! Oh yeah.
What things cost? You know.
Cell phones.
What is I want this and I want that. Well, where do you think that comes from? What do you think a budget is? What do you think? How much money? You watch MTV Cribs or whatever the hell the popular thing is nowadays. Everybody's got this.
But you still don't go pick it off a tree.
But learning how to budget off a $50,000 a year salary.
Right.
Just even 20,000.
Yeah, I mean, and they're going to be coming out of college, or straight out of high school, getting those, $10, $11 an hour jobs.
We're going to have those menial jobs, and that's the thing. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
And for somebody to go, I'm not going to work for $10 an hour. I said, apparently you've never starved.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, and it's like,
struggle.
I hired a contractor today, and one of the first things he said was, he goes, "Well, my crew's mostly Mexican. Do you have a problem with that?" And I'm like, you know what? I don't have a problem with that at all. Because you know why? I said, those guys are going to work twice as hard. He goes, I had a whole crew of white guys. They didn't want to show up for work. They didn't want to they didn't want to come do the job. They didn't even want to, come out and do what needed to be done. He goes, but he said, my crew now are amazing. He said, They just kill it. And I mean, that's been my experience.
And I actually have a problem with that. And here's my problem with that. And it goes back to a basic greed that started 20 years ago when you had such an influx of migrant workers that were coming in illegally, not paying taxes, and doing things at such a cut rate that it gave no incentive for a young man coming out of high school to go to a trade school and learn a trade or get in as an apprentice and come up through the journeyman process.
Yeah.
And learn, because the salaries were just cut in half. And then you tack on 9/11, which, nothing political about that, but it killed the economy for a while. And then the
it really did.
And the 2008 fall of the economy with all the the banks and all that other stuff. That killed the economy for a while. And so there was a huge void of about 20 years where we never passed down the trades.
Right.
We never passed down the trades. We had migrant workers who come in, make good money, go back home, and maybe another wave would come in, maybe a new wave wouldn't, but you still have to retrain them and everything. So now the economy is booming and picking up again, especially in the construction industry.
Yeah.
There is a void of qualified workers to be able to come in and do carpentry, sheetrock, roofing, concrete,
welding.
This brings up a good point now. Nothing against college people. College people are very smart. They're very intelligent. the reason people hire them is because they are able to learn. You know what I mean? And that's the reason.
Well, and they got a piece of paper.
Well, and that
Yeah,
too.
they got a sheepskin.
But see, you know, at what point, at like 18-year-olds, think about this. You started right out of high school, working construction, you're making 10, 12, 14, 16, you know, and top-end guys are going to make $20, $25. Some of them will make more, so heavy equipment operators, you know what I mean?
For years, there was a heavy ceiling there. I mean, $20 an hour, you was topping out.
Oh, yeah.
You was topping out. You
That
know?
just brings up what I'm
But
saying.
now I can remember back in mid-2000s when everything was just absolutely booming. I mean, I was making 26 an hour.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still had room to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, in the building trade.
You had that little period between 9/11 and before the 2008 fallout.
Yep.
About 2005, I think it was. There was
And you know, and then where we got used to making really good money, and then there was nothing. It's like
somebody cut the spigot off, man.
yeah, and you couldn't find work. You had to do what you had to do.
Now, there's times I rolled up out of bed for $12 an hour, driving all the way to Spartanburg to clean somebody's gutters and paint the shutters, and was going to fight somebody if they showed up else on the job looking for it, you know?
But that being said, during that time is when I ended up going to work for Home Depot. And now, just to bring some levity to all this, I'll bring one of my Home Depot stories in.
This is funny.
So, I'm working. You know, I've always, I've had my horticulture certification and been in construction for years and years and years. So, I was a construction specialist and garden specialist. I happened to be walking by the plumbing aisle one day, and this guy flags me down. He goes, "Hey, can you help me out?" And I'm like, "Sure, sir. I'll be glad to help you with anything." He pulls up his phone, and he showed me a picture. He goes, "Yeah, there's this very specific shower head that my wife and daughter have asked me to buy for them because they said, they're athletes. So, they need this pulsating pressure to go on their shoulders and everything else." I'm sitting here looking at the dude, trying to not bust out laughing because
Why would you do that, Aaron?
because they're using it as a toy, and his wife's trying to get around having to do him, and his daughter's just wanting what mom has, but
Strange mother-daughter relationship.
right, they're sharing that. Yeah, you make sure you use the shower head. You turn that pulse on because that's going to really turn you on. So, I mean, and this guy was absolutely clueless. He had no idea that he got duped by his wife and his daughter, both so they could get one pulsed out by a shower massage.
Damn.
Oh, man.
So, I had to bring some levity to this.
Did the light bulb, did that 40-watt light bulb go
Now,
off?
this is something that you've done a little research on, haven't you?
Well, I know girls that have done that.
No, I'm talking about just the new pornography craze.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, we're going to jump into something else then. So, yes, we talk about sex on our podcast, and we talk, we joke about porn and everything else, especially with, Ben, stopping in the middle of having sex and everything. And, he stops in the middle of it, and he tells his girlfriend, he goes, "Well, this is what Pornhub calls buffering." So, I mean, there you have that. But, so, me, I like to learn things. We drink and know things. That's what we do on this podcast. And so, something told me, hey, let's see what the top searches were for women and for men for 2018 on Pornhub.
All right, let's get to it.
I'm going to throw this out there. What do you think the number one was for women? What would you think it was?
I don't know, bondage maybe?
No. You want to try a stab, Benno?
Lebanese midget porn?
No, not Lebanese midget porn. Oh my God, like that video that I sent y'all yesterday.
Well, thank you for that, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. Some things can't be unseen ever. So, the 2018 top searches of Pornhub by women. Number one was lesbian porn.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. There's a trend you're going to see here. Number two was Japanese. Number three was hentai, which is still Japanese.
That's that cartoon stuff, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, no, that's anime. This is same vein, same genre.
Okay.
Number 4 was threesomes. Number 4 was Korean. Okay, they're wanting to search out the tiniest penis available. Yeah, stereotype there. Then it's followed up by massage, gangbang, lesbian scissoring, stepmoms, MILFs, anal, pussy licking, lesbian threesomes, and double penetration. That was the top searches by women in 2018.
Okay.
Now,
That's a lot there.
and I think women are just fed up with men. I mean, they're fed up with our bullshit.
There's no real men.
Well, I mean, yeah, and they're fed up with our bullshit because
By that, by just that,
Yeah.
By
now,
the searches.
Yeah.
now, these were the honorable mentions. These are the ones that are trending now going into 2019. I never in my life would I have ever. Some of these things are great. Okay, you do your thing. You do you, son, lady, ma'am, whatever. But you want to take a stab at what the trending is for 2019.
All right, let's take a look at it. What is it?
Fortnite.
Okay.
The fucking game.
I know.
How do you go from bouncing around in a fucking invisible, fake ass world to getting turned on by that?
I don't know what the hell thing Fortnite is.
It's a video game that all these kids are playing. They literally are bouncing around, shooting
Is it like
each other.
that World of Warcraft where they can have sex with each other?
No.
I learned that on Big Bang Theory.
No. This is a whole nother level of things. But
Animated bodies. Small
that
waist,
was-
big tits.
that was the anime, and that's where that comes into
Exactly,
play.
So that makes sense.
So, the top trending were Fortnite, lesbian strap-on, Korean, Tinder. I guess they're trying to look to see if, hey, if I hook up with this, if I swipe right on this guy, this is what we can do later. Who knows? This one is kind of interesting to me. Transsexual. Women are looking up transsexual porn. Tattooed. I get that. Women. I mean, I got the bald head, the beard, the long beard, and the tattoos. I'm the money shot these days.
Trending, baby.
I am the trend, and that was
And I'm like a Korean.
fuck you. Oh, fuck you.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, Rocket Man.
And then that's followed up with the very last one that's trending now for women is Asian.
Really?
Yeah. So now we're gonna trend. What do you think the number one is for men from 2018?
I don't know, facials.
Nice try. Well, how about you, Benno?
I'm going with lesbians.
You would both be wrong.
What?
Yeah. Number one for men search is Japanese.
Alright, okay, yeah.
Number 2 is MILF.
Okay, I can understand that one.
Number 3 is hentai. It's a whole Asian thing. It's a whole Asian
There's
thing.
more Asians in the world now. And I may
Well,
be
that's
wrong
true,
there.
and that is very true. Because then that's followed right up directly by Korean. Then it starts getting interesting. There's a trend between men and women for the whole stepmom thing, and the MILF. Then we got your lesbians, teen, massages, anal, Asian. So I mean, Asian really sticks out.
Right there.
Fortnite actually fell into the top searches for men.
I don't understand that at all.
But then you're going to really love this one. Also for men, transsexual. They were looking at this. And then the last two that rings out that, top searches for 2018 was it big ass, which who ain't about that big old booty? And then it follows it up, ends it with ebony. So now, the trending for 2018 into 2019 were Fortnite again. Okay, if you're a listener of ours and you get this at all,
Let us know.
please share with us, enlighten us. Korean, trans, how to treat women. That was actually a trending search for men
What? How to treat
Within
women?
Pornhub?
within Pornhub on how to treat women. Maybe they're showing how to be more loving
Wait a
and
minute.
tender
That
because
is
so
not
they're not
teaching.
looking at women. Tinder was another one. Japanese and anime followed that up. Now, one thing I did leave out for women, one of their top trending is ASMR. Have you ever heard of ASMR?
Got no clue.
Sounds
This
like
is-
a rocket.
No, this is that feeling that you get where you hear something so perfect that it makes your whole body tingle and feel it. That is one of the trending things that women want to experience.
So basically tell them I've got an American Express Gold card.
No. It doesn't.
Platinum.
You know what?
Platinum.
In some circles, yes. In some circles, I completely understand how that would
Close
work.
it out in New Jersey.
Dear God. So yeah, I mean, you've got that. But you know, if there's any of these, hey, we would love for you guys to comment and chime in on those. But now, okay, I got to throw you. What was the most bizarre that popped up?
Clowns.
No.
Midgets?
What's your obsession with midgets?
He's the world's tallest one.
Well, he is the world's tallest midget.
Not a midget.
Leprechaun. Whatever.
Tentacle porn. Okay. Have you guys ever heard of tentacle porn?
No.
Okay. Tentacle porn goes back to this whole hentai and anime stuff. Basically, these people are getting turned on by cartoons of people whose schlong is a octopus tentacle. And actually having sex and being violated by a tentacle.
You've been
That-
violated by a tentacle?
Hey,
No, but
Charlie.
It sounds like you like to be violated by tentacles.
No.
not
This was one of the top searches for 2018. This is one of the
Tentacle
trending
porn.
ones for Pornhub. Tentacle porn.
Yeah, hentai.
So you know about this?
Yeah, that's been around a long time.
Okay.
That's been around since your generation.
Yeah, but are you into this shit? I mean, you're that
He's out
cuss.
buying an octopus a week.
No, I want the real
I'm
thing.
allergic to shellfish and like.
Well, stop being shellfish.
That was good. No, but like, there's a lot of weird shit that people are into, and it doesn't have to necessarily 100% be millennials because kids.
Oh no, we're not even talking about millennials. These were the top searches on Pornhub by men and women for 2018.
What's the age range?
Oh, this is actually encompassing that younger to
18 to 65.
yeah, pretty much.
Just
The
overall.
AA pretty
If you could still rub one, you're probably getting this.
Well, there's probably more 18-year-olds than 65-year-olds now. So.
You'd probably be surprised because statistically speaking, there are more STDs going on in retirement homes
Well, I mean, it's retirement home.
because of Viagra.
They are shit is becoming rampant.
Yeah,
Rampant.
because they're just spreading this shit
Are your
around.
kids going to send you to one?
What's that?
Are you going to one
No,
anytime soon? I'm pretty
no.
sure. Damn.
If I'm lucky, it won't be state road.
It's gonna be years before I have to hit that. You fucker. Oh shit! I don't want you to spill your beer on me. Too. Love you too, brother.
Cheers, gentlemen. Y'all have a good night.
Hey, thanks for coming by and having something to say.
Dude, fuck yeah, man. Anytime, man.
All right. So
Great thing about doing the pubcast, anybody's will just walk up and start talking. You never know what's this isn't scripted. We got a few ideas about what we're going to talk about, but we just let it roll. And being at a new bar tonight has been great. Had some special beers here,
some really good beers.
and people have been very accepting here. You got some good music in the background. It's a really lovely place. If you haven't checked out the Pint Station,
You really need to.
It really is.
It's totally worth it
I'm
for you.
smelling a food truck around the corner.
I'm smelling something,
Man, it
and it smells
delicious.
good.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm borderline hangry at the moment.
All right, but this has been really cool.
All right, guys, we're going to start winding things down here, but Pickle wants to give you guys a little teaser intro into next week's show.
I've been thinking about these drones.
Okay.
They're really interesting. I thought about getting one for just to play around with, or
Just for
whatever.
shiggles.
Yeah, but doing some research on it, and just looking at different complaints about privacy issues that come along with that, and how much airspace you own above your house.
Hey, don't give too much.
But I think it's an interesting topic. If you have anything to add into it for next week, go ahead and put it on our Facebook page or wherever you can find it.
Hey, feel free to email us at pubshenanigans@gmail.com. Actually, pubshenanigansshow@gmail.com. And once again, we got to give a huge shout out to Pint Station for letting us broadcast here tonight.
That was awesome.
Amazing beer.
Mike,
Great vibe.
It's a beautiful place.
Yes, a beautiful place.
They've really done something special here in downtown Easley. Hopefully more businesses will follow. And kudos for bringing in the food trucks and giving options like that. And the live music in the background, I know you can probably hear it, it's been actually very, very good,
Yes, I mean, once again, follow us, share us, like us, send us, invite your friends, invite your enemies. We don't give a damn. We just need followers. So you can find us on Facebook. You can find us soon to be on Instagram, mind you. You can find us on Spotify, soon to be coming to iHeartRadio. We're getting ready to start putting everything up on YouTube as well, so you can listen there. We will be transitioning over and start doing some videos. We'll be doing video and audio, so you guys
working
can.
On some special guests.
We're working on some special guests, multiple special guests, because we've got quite a few people that got a lot to say about some of the topics we've already started talking about.
And if you have a pub or a restaurant that you would like us to do it from,
or a bar,
we
are not opposed to traveling.
Have a credit card, we'll travel.
Yeah, we would be more than happy to come out to your establishment and do one of our podcasts from your place. So as always, I'm Eric
Higgle,
Bentley,
and Adam has sent you.
Roll that sexy.